talking to John and those thoughts, and he's coming, working through me. And I just surrender. You really surrender to let the energy just come through you, and it just comes. It comes out the way it's supposed to.
And you can see that painting where?
It's in storage at the moment, but
but
yeah.
I mean, don't you have it on?
Oh, I have it online, and John Lennon, Give Peace a Chance, it's called, and you can find any of my artwork on MySpace under Woman, WOMBYN is my URL.
Cool, yeah, it's an awesome painting. It's so like him, and it's so very detailed and it's beautiful. And the fact that
I feel gifted
Yeah.
that I'm able to channel that energy.
yeah, and just her thoughts. Oh, I'm going to make a painting about John Lennon. Oh, let's do this, and then she just relaxes into a steady state and lets the energy flow through her, and boom, she's got this awesome painting. I haven't done that yet, but I'm working on it. I do more when I do my Akashic Record readings. The same thing. I have a thought process, and what I have to do is my everyday awake brain that's like busy bee and always thinking, my left brain. I have to quiet that thinking process down and go more into a theta brainwave state where I'm more quiet and reflective, and then I kind of what I call click in into the person's energy next to me, and I read it. And so, because everything is stored in what they call the Akashic Records, everything's energy, and so that's how I do my Akashic Record readings. I slow my thought pattern down to the theta wavelength, and then I can read a person. So kind of like thoughts are leading into consciousness. And that's a totally different thing. So some people think, oh, thoughts and consciousness are kind of the same thing, but not really. Consciousness is more of our awareness of things. Everybody's unique. We each have a different way of thinking and doing things. We've been kind of like programmed from youth, all of our experiences we've had, the schooling we've had. Each person is unique, so our consciousness is kind of unique. And it's a different state of awareness. It's almost like a thumbprint where, and in some instances, the military has been able to follow each and every person in the world using high technology now by their electromagnetic signature. And it's like our thumbprint, and they can actually see where we're at and what we're doing on their technology. So in some ways that's a little scary, but in some ways it makes each of us special and unique. So we each have our own little thumbprint. And it's all our memories and thoughts and reflections. And we each have, as I said, our individual consciousness, like I'm a battery and Ann's a battery and she's doing her own thing and I'm doing my own thing. But we each also have our mass consciousness. And they did a scientific study. It's called the 100th monkey effect. And what it was is this is how they discovered that we are really actually all united with our thoughts and as one being through the Creator and through the God thoughts, through the energies. And they were doing a little study on some monkeys down in an island, tropical island. I'm not quite sure it was down near South America, I believe. And they noticed this one monkey decided, oh, I'm going to use a stick and I'm going to open that seashell and I'm going to eat the seashell. And then soon all the other monkeys started learning how to do it. But what they figured was, oh, they must see this monkey doing it and not. But then an island totally separate from this island over here, they started doing it. Well, how did these monkeys learn how to do that when they can't even get over to the other island to see it? They weren't experiencing it. What it was is, they figured it out. We're all united in consciousness. And so these monkeys way over there started doing the same thing, using that stick to open the seashell. And pretty soon monkeys all over the world were doing it. And so that's kind of how, we're not monkeys, but we learn the same thing. Our brains work the same way. We are connected in consciousness through the higher frequencies. Everything is energy. I'm an energy being, and she's an energy being. We're electromagnetic in our natures. We're spiritual. Spirit is energy. And so God created everything spiritual first and then physical next. And so it's in that spiritual energy realm that we're all connected in mass consciousness. And that's so important for these times because everything we're experiencing on Earth is according to our thoughts and feelings and emotions and our consciousness. So if we want to create a world of peace, we have to unite as one. No more fighting, no more hate, no more anger. We have to let all that go because you attract that into your reality as you think about it. No more jealousy. You have to open your heart and think love, peace, unity. And then we will create that world, that golden era of peace that we want to have with no disease, no wealthy, no poor. We'll be all conscious of abundance. I actually have a little book I brought today which can help people, and it's actually helping me. And it's if you can see it, by Patricia Diane Cota Robles. And it is time for you to be financially free. And what it actually does is has little prayers and mantras in it that can help you change your consciousness from poverty consciousness to abundant consciousness, which is our divine right. We deserve to be financially free, and we can by changing our thoughts to positive thoughts, as if we already have it, and then acting on that through thoughts, because we create our reality by our thoughts and by our emotions. And so as we do that every day, if we think, oh, I have all this money, I have everything I need, everything that God has created is my divine right, we'll slowly change our thoughts that have been programmed from birth into abundance. And the world can be abundant and have this golden era of freedom and free will. It's the most awesome thing. As Jesus said, as a man thinketh, so is he. When I grew up in the Catholic Church, and I always wondered, well, that doesn't make sense to me, because as a man thinketh, I'm always thinking, oh, woe is me, I don't have any money. Well, then you're not going to have any money, because you're thinking, I don't have any money. If you think, I have everything I stand in need of, you'll attract that to you. And that's how we can change our thoughts into positive ones and thinking. And we want world peace, unite in thought. If we all unite in thought, just like the 100 monkey effect, we can have our little groups. Start with yourself, like Michael Jackson said, the man in the mirror. Change yourself first, love yourself first. Think that you have the abundance and everything you need. Then share it with others. They start thinking. Soon enough, you have a group of friends all thinking, and pretty enough, you have the whole world thinking. We can change our lives that way. God, the creator of all things, created all things first, as I said, spiritually, which is energy. And electromagnetic energy is a spectrum that is the glue to all consciousness. It's this electromagnetic energy. I kind of like to think of the movie Star Wars and the Jedi Knights and Yoda, and how he says, you have to let go. He's trying to train Luke Skywalker in that swamp, and he's trying to train him. Let it go. Don't think, oh, it's too big, it's too heavy, I can't do it. And he couldn't do it. But here's this little Yoda, who's a tiny little guy, and he just kind of went like that, and he lifted the ship right out of the muck and was able to do it. That's what we need to change with our consciousness. We need to change to I have, and think as if we already have it. And that those thoughts will be the glue that actually brings it into reality and manifests it instantly. It says, our soul's purpose became more evident as we awaken to the use of this our subconscious mind and our thoughts, changing them. It's actually programmed into our DNA. Our DNA is kind of like a recorder crystals in us. It's programmed. Our DNA, they have, like they said, they discovered about 30% of our DNA and know what it does. It's the color of our hair and the color of our eyes and our body weight, whatever. But the 70%, they said, we don't know what it does yet. And that 70% is the divine DNA that was shut off years and years ago by the ancient ones who wanted to keep us dumb and keep us in slavery and use us to feed off of us. But now, according to the spiritual hierarchy of the universe and everything that says we're all ascending, we're all entering a new era of higher frequency, this DNA is actually waking up. We have children that are very gifted in China. They call them the super psychic children. You can go on YouTube and actually look it up. These children are born so gifted with an extra DNA and extra brain matter being used that they can actually walk through solid walls. They can levitate themselves. They can do all these things we used to do ancient thousands and thousands of years ago. That was taken away from us. We used to have a 12-strand DNA. Now we were taken down into 2. But now, in these modern times right now, we're getting our 3rd strand of DNA. They've actually recorded this in individuals. 3 strands, 4 strands, 5 strands, even in some of these super psychic kids in China. And they've also found out now that these gifted children are being born in Russia as well. So they're going back and forth testing these children and seeing how gifted they are. And these are the new ones that are going to help teach us older, hard-to-think parents and programmed adults to start changing our ways of thinking. We can follow they're the ones that are going to help save us. Is because they've they get it. It takes us a little bit longer, but we're changing too. And we can by just reprogramming our thoughts and to be more positive. Like that song, what, smile and be happy, is Rastafarian.
Don't worry, be happy.
And that's true. That's really true. Don't worry, be happy, because as we think positive, we attract positive and we manifest that into our world. We talk about chakras, that as I said before, that our brain is like a transformer, but it also works with our energy centers. And that's what we call our chakras. We originally have 7 chakras, and it constitutes different colors. We have red, orange, yellow, green is our heart chakra, blue is our throat chakra. We have a purple for what they term our third eye, which is actually your pituitary gland in your brain, and we have what we call a crown chakra. And these chakras also are increasing. We're going to end up with 13 chakras. And they're just more energy patterns to awaken our DNA to help us become the beings that we can become. And these are little transformers, like connections. You plug in things into your chakras. And we'll talk more about that in the next lecture, and we'll have pictures for you so that we can see how our chakras work and how it works with our energies and our brains. But it all is together. It's one big energy pattern. It's like you have your battery, but you have to have the cables hooked up to your battery to get your car to run. It's kind of how we can picture your chakras right in here. We also have our astral and etheric bodies, our non-physical wiring. As I said, God created everything spiritually first, so that's kind of like we have our higher selves. When we pass away, we don't cease to exist. We still have our original, what is our real self. We're spiritual beings in a physical body having a physical experience. And so we have all these emotions and mental bodies and thoughts that are coming from the higher energy, our higher self. We call it our I am, is one way of talking about our higher spiritual self. And this is somewhere we get downloaded, get inspiration from, and plus others can give us information through our higher selves, and it comes down into the physicality. And that's I thought of this today. Oh my God. So sometimes inspiration comes from other sources or from our higher selves through our chakras, through our energy and our thoughts. Do you have anything you want to share on that? I know you've gotten some really great thoughts.
Well, because thoughts are such like magnets, our thoughts will be like, the more we can think positive things, the more we can shift. Not sure.
Okay. I know, like, you get inspirations when you're painting, that it's almost like suddenly you get downloaded information.
It's more like opening up to what wants to be created through me. I become the brush. I don't want to make it look like something. I want it to be what it wants to be. It's kind of like Michelangelo did when he looked at the chunk of marble and said, he sees the image in there before even beginning. It's the same thing. I kind of see the image, but along the way, an inspiration will come as I'm painting, and it'll go, whoa, this wants to happen too. And just it's like the art of allowing.
Yeah.
Just allow it to happen. Don't put up any resistance, because the resistance is, again, like almost like a wall. It blocks you from that free-flowing creativity that can come through.
It's like our fears. If we fear or if we doubt. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and he says, I doubted myself, and thus it didn't happen as I wanted it or thought it would happen, because fear and doubt is a very negative energy.
Not only do you have to have the thoughts, but if you can bring the thoughts into the feeling, because the feeling helps it manifest more too. The emotion will bring it forth. You feel like you're going to win the lotto. I won the lotto, and that will manifest itself too, or whatever.
I always got is act as if you already have
what you need.
Think as if you already have it, and give thanks. In fact, she talks about this, giving thanks, and also give money to get money. What you want to give.
Yeah, because when you say, I don't have the money for this, that you're in that, I don't have mode, versus, I got plenty of money. It's like breathing. It comes in, comes out. It goes to anybody who needs it. It's all for the higher good of everyone. And then, just like you're a channel. You become the channel for God's work.
In fact, I kind of experienced that yesterday, where I've been saving up money to get my car fixed, and I was worried that I was spending it on groceries and other things. I'm going, nope, I'm going to have a wonderful day. It's going to have abundance.
So incredible.
And I ended up doing like 6 Akashic Record readings yesterday.
And we got a double rainbow.
A double rainbow, and I got $160 out of, I didn't even expect it to come in, and there it was, and that's the money I had spent on groceries, so I have the money now to fix my car. So if I don't fear and
Don't doubt.
Don't doubt, it'll come, and it's learning, retraining ourselves from the program we got as growing up. We have abundancy consciousness is what we want to get to. Also, we're thinking, okay, thoughts create consciousness, which is our reality, and everything's all connected. But it also, our consciousness creates geometric form. And later on, we'll talk about geometric form creates frequencies and vibrations, which create sound. So everything electromagnetically is connected. And it's fascinating that because I think, so it is. Or next week we'll talk about the pyramids and geometric forms. And there's 5 platonic solids which have certain geometric forms, and you can actually see the forms in crystals, which I'll bring next week or show on the screen. But so our consciousness creates geometric patterns, and that's everything in life. When you think of a seashell, you think of a tree, you think of the pyramids, everything has certain shapes, like this orb, this crystal ball. It's actually an example of the feminine energy, but that is like one of the platonic solids. It's a sphere. You find all these patterns naturally in nature, and so God thought He's forming all these geometric patterns, and they've recently have scientific experiments, and also they have discovered things like pyramids on Mars. Mathematical, everything, a lot of it's math, that it's so perfect, the pyramids, they haven't discovered who built them. Here's this perfect pyramidal shape. You find them all over the world. You find